My name is Zach Crush.
My name is Nguyên.
Good. We'll now move to part one. First question. Is it important to you to eat healthy food?
Well, yes, definitely. I prefer to eat, healthy home cooked food rather than fast food, as junk food can be detrimental to my health, and it's just simply I don't want to kick the bucket soon.
Very good. If you catch a cold, what do you do to help you feel better?
Well, usually I drink some ginger teas or vitamin C's as herbal supplements whenever I catch a cold, but I do sometimes, gargle with some salt water, and it really helps me to be back on my feet after, just a couple of days, and without taking any antibiotics.
Very good. Third question. Do you pay attention to public information about health?
Yeah, for sure. My knowledge about health is mostly from the media, like TV, magazines, or newspaper. So I always take notice of, updated news related to healthcare or health issues, such as epidemics or panaceas across the globe.
Very good. We'll now move to part two. Here is your question. You may take notes for 1 minute. You may begin. Two minutes to answer the question. Okay? And you may begin.
You know what? Waiting for someone is the number one reason that would trigger my impatience. So I remember there was once I had to wait for my bestie Megan, for ages. So it was on Tuesday morning, and I had invited my buddy for breakfast at the nearby restaurant, and we planned to meet there at around 7 a.m. I guess, and I was really excited about it that I tried to be an early bird that day, which I wasn't used to. Certainly my friend hadn't come yet, but it was easy to understand because I was early. However, I waited for like half an hour, but nobody showed up. And then I started to feel hungry and a bit frustrated. After waiting for like a couple more minutes, but still she hadn't showed up. So it's kind of like the last straw that broke the camel's back, and I began to lose my temper and decided to call my so-called early friend. When she picked up the phone, I was nearly shout at her, but I just concealed my anger and asked her why she didn't come for breakfast. So it turns out that, guess what? It turns out that I was the one who mixed up the days. Yep. So as you can imagine, I was, speechless for a while, and then I ended up said sorry to her, and she just forgave me right away.
Okay, very good. Very good. We'll now move to part three. Question one. What kinds of jobs require the most patience?
Well, in my opinion, patience is a vital trait that is needed for like almost all kinds of jobs. But I have to say that being a housewife is considered to have a higher level of patience than than any others. But so these people, they won't get paid for this, but they are the best in showing empathy and love. They are, patient enough to, put up with children's tantrums and fights and so on. So they are also a good conversationalist. So they are always listen to their children's stories or even their spouses.
Very good. Second question, is it always better to be patient in work or studies?
Well, it is good to be patient in work as long as, it helps people to do some tasks or problems done in like once in a while. But when the tasks or the problems are too difficult, or the working environment is too harsh, so it can affect the physical and the mental health of a person in a negative way. So I think that then it is not okay to be patient in work. So in this situation, he or she should better, give them another opportunity to work in a better environment. But when it comes to, studies, I think that it is better to be patient, because the more he or she patient in his or her studies, the more he or she learns.
Very good. Last question. Do you agree or disagree that the older people are, the more patient they are?
I'm kind of partially agree with the statement that the older people are, the more patient they are. Because, I think that how patient a person is depends on, their personality or the situation they are facing or they are, having. So, for example, like some of my teachers, they are always, getting frustrated or angry if I make some little mistakes that is not really a problem. So, but having said that, I think that older people have been through ups and downs, so they have they will have a bunch of experience for handling different kinds of situations. So I think that they will know better so when to be patient and when not to be.
All right, that concludes the test. Thank you very much for coming in this evening.